Welcome back to Sleepless in Miami TV. And we're here for the premiere of The Bachelorette. Miss Hannah Alabama herself just premiered. And
I know.
I don't know about you, but I kind of
love her.
The entire thing.
Yes.
I knew that I was going to like her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always thought that I was going to like her. I mean, I know people were worried because they were like, oh, she's awkward. She's weird. She's like, she doesn't know how to speak. And I get it. But, you know, you have to realize that they do train these people before they get on camera.
True.
But on top of that, she's also so genuine and sweet, and I just loved every minute of it.
I know. She was really awkward and weird during Colton season.
Yeah.
And she earned that title, let's be real. But I think she's redeeming herself, and she's just so genuinely sweet. You can't even help it. Like, she even prayed during the show.
She did.
She was
and
adorable.
I loved what she said. She was like, help me be smart. And the fact that you would even say something like that just tells me how humble you are, because a lot of people would never admit that. Like, I am smart. What do you mean? I don't need to ask to be smart to make good decisions.
Right.
But the fact that she wanted to, it just made me love her. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm playing with my hair because I have like a weird hair. And I just noticed you have mascara on top of your eyelid.
I literally asked her if I had mascara beforehand.
But I just noticed like right now because I'm like looking
Where do I have
you.
it?
It's like right here. Like I almost got it.
Ladies, fix each other's crowns.
All right, I got you.
Okay?
I got you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Cheers. All right, so let's get into this because there are so many guys to go through. And if you don't know us, I'm sorry, did we introduce ourselves?
No, we didn't. So let's start. Welcome. I'm Ruji.
Like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm Janie. Yeah, I don't know.
You're
I have an antenna, you guys. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's baby hair.
All right, so we are the co-hosts of Sleepless in Miami TV, and welcome to our channel where we recap reality TV shows.
Yes. And we talk shit about it because
that's what we do.
Really fun to talk shit about reality TV.
And you can talk shit with us in the comment section.
Yes, I can't wait to read people's comments.
I know.
I was so excited. I thought the episode was great. I've never been this excited for a season of The Bachelorette ever. Like, I have something too.
No, just
an
eyelash.
eyelash.
Make a wish.
I've never been this excited for a season of The Bachelorette, and I think it's because we've watched a few seasons now. And there's always been really, really sweet girls. You know, Becca was really sweet too. But I wasn't like, I was kind of like bored.
I was so bored with Becca.
Time with Becca. I think the most memorable Bachelorette up to now was Rachel.
Yes.
Like, her season was enjoyable.
Hands down.
But that's kind of how I'm feeling about Hannah's season. I'm feeling like I'm getting a Rachel vibe. She was so real today. She was so honest. And I loved it.
So here's the thing about Hannah's season, okay? To understand Hannah's season, you really have to watch Colton's season. And that's how it really is with every Bachelor and Bachelorette. You have to always go back because they usually come or stem from a previous season, right? So during that season, there's a lot of drama, and we go over all of this in our podcast, and you can follow us. We're going to link it below in the description. There's so much drama between Kaylin and Hannah B, you know, like underneath it all, because they never really talked to each other about the drama, but everything was about each other. So we always thought Kaylin was going to be the Bachelorette, and out of nowhere, they announced that it was Hannah. And we were so happy because at the end, Kaylin was a little bit shady.
Honestly, I was super happy.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know in the comments, totally unrelated, but let me know how you feel about the whole Kaylin, Cassie, Colton,
triangle,
C, love triangle, because it's like a weird sister wives situation.
I know.
And I don't get it. Like, you were crying on TV like 2 weeks ago about how much you were hurt and how much you're still not over it. And then you're like BFFs with his girlfriend / probably future fiance, because it seems like they're really serious about each other.
Isn't that weird?
It's just,
Could you imagine?
Bizarre.
Can you imagine being friends with me after I steal your guy?
No.
That's just stupid.
That's just
stupid.
weird. I'm not saying that they can't be friends. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because it's a show. So really, the amount of time that they spend on with these people, it's like if you went on 2 or 3 dates with somebody and then I dated them. Like, yes, it would be uncomfortable, but it's not like you were in love with that person. I mean, the amount of times that I've read about this. Okay. The amount of time that the actual lead ends up actually spending time with the person that wins is about 72 hours, guys. That's it.
Anyways. Okay, anyway, so we're derailing because this is what we do.
But let us know in the comments. Like, do you think it's weird? But anyway, let's talk about this night.
Hannah.
Because Hannah is the real queen of this episode.
She's freaking adorable.
Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, adorable. Just so cute. I mean, I think I'm in love with Hannah.
I mean, Hannah can put a bitch in her place, you know?
That's what we saw tonight, which I was so happy to see because we didn't really get to see that on Colton season.
She was wholesome and quiet.
We didn't really see that, but today in this episode, we saw her throw some bitches down. Okay, so let's start from the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning. I need to put my
We have our
wine
notes,
down.
guys. We have our notes. I'm looking down on my phone because I have my notes on my phone, and bear with us. But okay, let's start with the fact that Debbie and Katie were there to kind of help. So in the beginning, they were, kind of congratulating her, like telling her that she looked amazing in her outfit. She was kind of showing them what she was going to wear.
So
and I love their friendships. It's really cute.
Yeah,
I love women supporting women, when they're not dating the same guy. It's great. It's really, really cute. And then we start to see the guys come in.
Yeah.
So the first guy, okay, and we are going to miss some guys on this episode only because, to be honest, some guys had 0 screen time. I think I saw some of the guys for like a split second and then they were out.
If you're new to the whole Bachelor Nation, then I'm never going to say that right. If you're new here, then welcome. Every show is 2 hours long from 8 to 10 every Monday night. And sometimes Tuesdays. Sometimes. What they first do is that they highlight the men that we are going to know a little bit more about, or the ones that we're going to feel sad to let them go. And then they go into the meet and greet, and then they go into the conversations and the time together and all that stuff. And then she gives out the roses. That's how the premiere usually goes. And we were so excited because you can really learn who's going to be at the end from watching who they present and how they present them.
Usually you're going to have, in every season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette, you're going to have your really, really weirdo people that are not going to make it very far. Mm-hmm. Then you have your really fun, kind of just funny, outgoing people that are going to stick around because they're good entertainment. And then you have the people that you can just cherry pick out immediately. Like, oh, you're a contender, you're a contender, you're a contender. There's usually a very small handful of those, and then everybody else is a filler. So the first guy that we met was Tyler C. He's from Florida, and he's a contractor. And in my notes, we're going to have a picture of him somewhere.
Right here in the middle.
Yes. But he talked about that he likes to dance, he's silly, he's fun. I already categorized Tyler C as one of the more fun. He's going to be a Demi. Somebody that's fun, funny, is going to just kind of help ease the tension.
Maybe.
But also, I feel like he's going to be involved in drama. I can already kind of tell you that.
See, I didn't like him. As soon as I saw him do his little Footloose / Dirty Dancing little scene in front of like the location of like the contractor, that was too much. And I wrote down in my notes that he's an attention whore.
He's definitely not going to make it to the top 3. Absolutely not. But he's somebody that is probably going to stick around long enough. We see it in the previews that he is around at some point when they're traveling. Because we see little snippets. Sure. Yeah. So he is going to make it far enough because he's good TV. Yeah. And unfortunately, if you're good TV, you're going to stick around.
That's what we want.
Then we had Mike. And Mike was the portfolio manager guy. Do you remember him?
Yeah. So he went to see his grandmother and his mom. And
boy. I'm sorry, but
I immediately wrote that down.
That's literally what I wrote. I wrote, he gave, what did I write?
I put he's a playboy.
Something about his face screamed boy. That's what I wrote.
Yes.
You know what it is?
His
I think it's because he's got that charming kind of personality, and every time I've ever met a guy that wants you to know about how important his mom or grandmother or sister or any woman in his life are, all I can see is that you're trying to make a point.
Oh, look, I'm not one of those guys. Like, I have a good relationship with my grandma.
Because they just know that girls eat that shit up. So something about him just seemed very disingenuous, and I just don't trust him.
I know, I saw right through him.
I don't trust him. Sorry, girls.
I don't like him. He is a playboy, mama's boy. Okay, sure. Then Peter.
Peter was a pilot.
And we forgot to mention that Hannah went back to her hometown at some point and went back to her old job, and it was like a hardware store, right?
Yeah.
And that just screamed 50 Shades of Grey to me. And then we saw Peter, and he's a freaking pilot. And I just immediately thought of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes. And you know what, you guys? I have a good feeling about Peter. I just think I immediately thought, like, when they started talking and I saw how, like, smitten she kind of was with him, I'm going to call it now. I think Peter is going to be top 2.
I'm going to reserve my opinions for later.
Okay.
All right. And then after Peter, we had Joe, right? The Box King.
Yes, Joe Barsano, the Italian stallion.
Box King. As soon as I saw his name, I was like, okay, Joe. We don't have a good reputation with Joe staying past the first night.
Yeah.
You know?
Very true.
But they do succeed in Bachelor in Paradise.
So he's gonna be in Paradise. It's gonna be dope because he has a big personality.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna get to Paradise. But yeah, I was really shocked that he was sent home the first night. I didn't see it. I didn't think that he was gonna be sent home so quickly.
Who was next after that?
Okay, then we had Matt Donald.
Matt Donald had
yes, and you know what? Matt Donald was actually pretty sweet because his family is deaf.
Yeah.
Or the majority of his family either is deaf or just signs because they have deaf family members. So he knows sign language. As somebody that studied sign language in high school and actually wanted to go into that as a career at one point, I really respect that. I think it's really nice.
Then we have Connor.
Yes. Connor, okay, this is Connor, the salesperson guy. He works at a dealership or something, I think. Okay, thoughts?
As soon as he came out, I was like, oh, I don't like you. The minute I saw him, I'm a sales manager.
I don't trust salespeople. I work in sales, and believe me, I'm
I'm
not a salesperson, but I work with salespeople, and
they're more talk than they are action, and they have more of a bark than they have a bite. What?
Neil is a salesperson. Well, my boyfriend's a salesperson, but I mean, he's the exception, obviously. She got a kick out of that one.
I will say that I hated him the minute I saw him, but then later on they showed his family, and he comes from a mixed background. His dad, I forgot where his dad's
American.
from. His dad's American, and his mom is from Hong Kong.
Yes. His family is so diverse and
Does it
embraces it.
Does it mean that whenever I see a minority, I'm like, well, you're not going to make it till the end? Minorities never make it till the end.
It's not bad that you say that because, unfortunately, I mean, I've never, ever, ever, in all the seasons of Bachelor and Bachelorette, I've never seen a contestant give the first rose to somebody in the minority group. I've never seen them give it to the Hispanic girl or the black girl or the black guy.
Or the Asian girl.
The Asian girl or the Asian guy. I've never seen that happen.
Anyways.
Next. Okay, so the next guy that came out was Lukey Luke, right? I always call every Luke Lukey Luke, right?
Yeah, you do.
So we have Luke, and there's two Lukes. This is not the Luke that talked about going down on her on their literally first impression after the final rose.
After the final rose in Colton's season, she got a little preview of 5 men that were going to be in her season, and one of them was Luke, but it was not the Luke that we saw in the highlighted.
So this is hot Luke, right? Because there's a distinction.
One of them knows it.
One of them is really ugly. I'm so sorry. That's so mean, but not really. I mean, he's kind of ugly. I'm sorry. He looks like an animal,
there's
like a cartoon.
Oh, is that the Luke? The one that looked like the Madagascar character?
Yes, he kind of looks like King Julian. I look at him and King Julian's gonna be here too. So you see some resemblance?
We're gonna compare them.
We're gonna put them side by side. Do you see it? So this Luke is the hot one, right?
Yeah, and he knows it.
The first thing he says is that he's hot. He's like, yeah, people say I'm a good-looking guy, which, we get it. You are a good-looking guy. But that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But at the same time, I do think he's a charmer, and I do think he's gonna get very, very far. I mean, clearly he's the person that she was immediately drawn to.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, so our camera keeps dying, and then our microphone goes away. We're having technical difficulties,
Very
you
much.
might see us on a different frame or whatever. But just stick with us. Luke is hot. He knows it. He says it. He's all about it. What were you saying?
Okay. I just remembered what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Something that we need to address is that God spoke to him.
Yeah. God spoke to us.
Jesus himself spoke to him. It was like, hey, the fact that he said that, it did set kind of like alarm bells in my mind. It's like, yes, you're really cute. Yes, you're very charming. But the fact that you're putting it out there that you used to be a hoe, and all of a sudden, after God spoke to you, you aren't anymore, makes me wonder, because I just don't know how believable that is. I think he thinks he's ready for marriage.
He swears he's ready.
But I don't think he is. I mean, the guy's 24 years old, and he was a hoe, up until, June. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know.
But Janie, he's a great uncle.
That's not why it's different. It's because God spoke to him
and told him he's a great uncle.
We're not making fun of, like, your faith at all. We're not making fun of...
Guys, take this at face value.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what it is.
We're just poking fun at what he said and how he said it because it's kind of hilarious.
Please don't come at us in the comments.
Yes, Luke got the first impression rose anyway.
Because he was the only one who was there for her. Okay?
He did exactly what any other guy should have done. He was the first person to grab her to talk right away. Mm-hmm. He went back for a second time when nobody else was. And then when she was upset, like, I think they spoke like 3 different times. Yeah. They had a first time, then she was upset. He went back to talk to her. And then they had another time when
she got the first impression rose.
She gave him the first impression rose. And there's a preview for the season where she says, like, you could cut that sexual tension with a knife. And I guarantee you that she's talking about Luke.
We know she's talking about Luke.
Because that kiss, that was a great kiss. Yeah. That was a great kiss. That was a great fucking kiss.
They look like, okay, and we're talking about the first kiss, because he didn't kiss her right away. He kissed her after the 3rd time that they talked, and he got the first impression rose, and he went into it, like, really kind of, like, shy. He was even talking and mumbling when they first kissed. And
she went for it.
She went for it because she was, like, dying for it. And then he went in slowly and then deeper, and I was like, oh, my God, like, please, stop.
Honestly,
I don't need to see that.
It was hot. Like, it was great.
It was a lot. But it was, like, good. It was like a movie kiss. You know what I'm talking about?
And, guys, you gotta remember, Hannah has said this before. She said she wants a man that feels like a man. And that's what it felt like in that moment.
Because
like,
he grabbed her
control.
face.
He took control.
He was like, oh.
He was like, let me tell you what we're gonna do. And then she was like, yes, you're the winner.
Okay,
that's hilarious.
Moving on.
Okay, then we had a guy named Jed. He was from Nashville. And I literally wrote he was forgettable.
Who's Jed?
Exactly.
Jed, singer-songwriter.
Oh!
Singer-songwriter.
You know what?
He sang a song.
You know what? Not that unmemorable. Because his song was pretty good. I mean, I think most girls are totally suckers for any guy that can sing and play an instrument.
Fine, but can we just, like, admit for a second that was, like, a little advertisement for his music and his career? Like, he didn't need to bring his guitar there. You could be a musician and not advertise on national TV, but of course you're going to take that opportunity.
Well, I mean,
you know,
if you were on The Bachelor,
oh hell yes,
would you be talking about Sleepless in Miami?
Yeah.
So actually, my roommate and I have this podcast.
Yeah, and a YouTube channel. No big deal.
I mean,
no big
he's
deal.
being a smart guy because Jed is like, listen, I could be going home tonight. I gotta make sure I get, somebody out there who's gonna listen to my music. He's from Nashville. That's what people from Nashville do. They pursue music,
just like Taylor Swift.
All right. Then we had John Paul Jones.
Did he even make it?
He did. He was the last one to get called.
Oh, John Paul Jones. My friends call me John Paul Jones. My career is John Paul Jones. My business card is John Paul. My dog is John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones.
Yeah, at some point it's like jump my bones. John Paul Jones.
Jump my bones.
It's the same thing.
I like
it sounds the same thing.
I like it. All right, but John Paul Jones, whatever his name is, he was like, oh, you can call me John Paul Jones. I mean, that guy, if he's not a model, I don't know what he's doing with his life. The next guy was Scott. Mm-hmm. I just wrote he's super awkward.
Who's Scott?
Exactly.
No, I mean, did I write him down?
Oh my God! Scott is the one that gets sent home!
Oh my God, Scott! Man, so some drama went down in the house today, and you know the story, so you can tell it.
Yes, okay, so I am on The Bachelor. Yes, I am on The Bachelor Reddit group. If you're not on The Bachelor Reddit, you should be. To be honest, it's kind of... It's not always the greatest place in the world. Sometimes there's a lot of drama there, and it's not the best place. But I really, really love that the people on that group will scour the internet for the hottest tea, and it's scolding hot every time.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are like detectives, like sleuths, like... I mean, really, like Sherlock Holmes status. I mean, they find dirt on everybody. And somebody found dirt on this guy, Luke. I mean, not Luke.
How dare you?
What's his name?
Scott.
They found dirt on Scott. And then they kind of outed him because apparently he had a girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend.
And thanks to Reddit, Debbie found out.
She had a conversation with him, and she was like, what is this I hear? Is this true? I thought you weren't really excited to be here, and I guess the reason why is because you have a girlfriend at home. And he's like,
what? I don't have a girlfriend.
Except that turned around really quick when she started cornering him and asking him more questions. He kind of had to give in and say,
well, I mean, I did go on a date. I did see somebody.
It's funny when guys are cornered and their story changes. Like, well, no, I mean, yeah, I dated. And
when she kicked him out, of course she's going to kick him out. He's not going to stick around. When she was showing him out, she was like, come on.
I love it because she's got that southern drawl. So she's like, come on, come on. And so I almost felt like she was taking the dog out to shit.
No, she literally
was. Like,
was.
come on. Loved it. I loved every second of it because it's the same Hannah that we saw in Colton season where she got eliminated and she was like, you don't want me? That's fine. Like, I want somebody that wants me. Like, you don't need to say sorry if you don't want me. Like, somebody else is going to want me. Like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that she has carried that confidence through this season, and I hope that she continues to because I respect her for it.
Yeah.
Not every Bachelorette is that, like, vocal and that upfront about her standards, and I really love that about her from night one. And after that, she went back into the room and she was like, anybody else? Because you can go now. And I fucking loved it. We
were clapping, we were cheering.
That's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, if anybody else wants to pull that shit, then please leave now. Like, spare me. I don't want to put up with your shit.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
So who do we think is going to be top 3? What do you think?
Yes, let's do top 3.
Okay.
Who our predictions are. And you guys can join in on your predictions in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Janie, I'm going to let you go first because Janie from the get-go, she's like, I already know who's going to make it.
Okay, well, I feel pretty strongly about this, right? So I think that there is an obvious choice here, which is Luke. I think Luke is an obvious choice just because, he got the first impression rose. I think if you've ever watched any season of The Bachelorette, you know that the first impression rose really matters when you're a woman. When you're a man, it means fucking shit because the bachelors will give the first impression rose to whoever has the nicest tits that day. But the girls go with their heart. They think about, like, I have a really good connection with this person. The chemistry, if it's not there, they're not going to give them love. I feel very, very confident in saying that Luke is going to be top 2. 100%. There's really no doubt about it in my mind. He is going to be top 2. And then my other prediction for top 3 is going to be Peter, the pilot. I would be really shocked if he wasn't, and I'm going to tell you why. I think that production does this thing where they're editing. Yeah. And when they're editing, they want to appeal to you as the viewer.
It's romantic.
And yes. They want you to like the people that are going to be the leads, right? Like, you're not going to like certain people, and you know that they don't care if you do because they present them in a way that's, like, kind of, like, fucked up. Like, whatever, right? But when they presented Peter, there was this, like, romantic music in the background. He gives her a pin. It's cute. She's like, ha, ha. There's even a moment of Demi saying, oh, she likes him. It's obvious, right? So, in my opinion, Peter, Luke are going to be top 2. There's another spot for a top 3, and honestly,
who do you think, if you had to choose, who would you give it to?
I am having a hard time with that one because, to be honest, I just don't know that there's anybody else that I really, really believe she's going to take to the top 3.
But from my opinion, I'm going to tell you my original top 3, and then I'm going to tell you when I changed my mind. So originally, immediately, I was like, Luke. Because the minute he brought God into the equation, I was like, well, Hannah's very...
Okay, no. Sorry. I just thought of Jed.
Who? Jed. Oh.
Singer Jed. I did see some moments with Jed in the previews that kind of left me thinking. But okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe Jed. Okay.
Maybe Jed. Maybe.
Anywho. So as soon as Luke brought God into the equation, I was like, well, Hannah's very Christian. She prayed in the show. You can see it in the first episode. So I'm like, okay, so they have a common background. So I'm like, okay, they can hit it off. They have, like, commonalities. And then he's attractive. Obviously, he's very hot. Like, he's very cute. He has, like, that genuine smile, and he has a good relationship with his brother and his sister-in-law and his niece, right? It's a girl?
Yeah, it's a girl.
And his niece. So I was like, okay, maybe she'll like him. So then I have Matt McDonald. Just because he's so corny and so quirky that he just matches her personality, even if they're a little bit different. He then also has a very, like, strong background with his family members who are deaf. So he has a lot of compassion. You can tell he's just very kind because he grew up that way, knowing that to be very kind. And Hannah is that kind of person. And then I really liked Ryan. But then Ryan got booted off. To replace it, I'm going to go with Peter because it's like, as the show went on, I was starting to see a connection with Peter, and she does like him. She's attracted to him.
I called it first.
She did. I called Luke first, but then you called Peter first. And I don't know. We're going to find out. And stay tuned for next week's episode. Yes.
We'll be back next week on Wednesday for recap and reaction for episode numero 2 of The Bachelorette.
Yay! We're calling this section Batch Please because, Batch Please.
You get it?
Yeah, it's a play on words. It's funny.
We're funny, I know.
I know. We're charming, we're funny, we're cute.
So funny.
All right, be sure to follow us at Sleepless and MIA in our Instagram. We're going to link it below in the description. Be sure to check us out there. We're going to keep you posted with memes and a bunch of little fun facts about us.
Yes.
So,
also, our personal Instagram handles will also be below. If you made it to the end, let us know in the comments. And also, let us know how you feel about the season of The Bachelor. Are you excited?
Who are your top picks? That's what I'm curious about.
Yes, I want to know.
Do you agree
but
with our selection?
Don't spoil anything for anybody. If you do that, I am going to come after you, and I will.
We want our subscribers to
you.
stay.
I will hurt you.
Okay, fine.
So, no, not if you spoil it for everybody in the comments and you tell us who wins. I don't want to know who wins. I want to know who you think is going to win.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys
for
are assuming. And if you agree with us, let us know why you agree with us. And if you don't, let us know who you think it's going to be instead.
Yes.
And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. All right, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.